Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
It's been a long time since my last sit-down video. I've missed doing this, and now I am finally back sharing with you one special event that happened in our life, our wedding in the Philippines. In this video, I want to share with you the cost breakdown of our Shangri-La wedding in Boracay, Philippines, while planning it all the way here from New York. So it's kind of an elopement style for us, even though I lived in the Philippines my whole life. It's just that planning it from afar seems like an elopement to me. So I wanted to film this video because when I was starting inquiring with all the suppliers, local suppliers in Boracay, I've also been looking for vlogs, for references, and I realized not a lot of people are openly sharing numbers, and that made it really hard to set a realistic budget for the wedding. So it's been 2 months and 3 days after our wedding. After everything settled in, I knew I wanted to film this video in the hopes that it might be helpful if you're starting your wedding planning, or you're in the middle of it, or if you're just curious about what a wedding might actually cost you. I know weddings are very personal. We do have our own differences on how we want to spend, how we want to save, and how we want to execute it. And I'm just here sharing how we executed it and how we budgeted for it as a budgetarian bride. I'm a budgetarian bride, really. Like, I want to save to the smallest sense of, the money. So I'm here for you. Although there's some figures that I might, might just round off because of confidentiality, especially with the contracts that we signed with the hotel that we booked. Did have a confidentiality agreement. I might have to round off the numbers, but I'll try to give you the best estimate that we spent on the venue and other suppliers that we booked. We'll also be sharing with you guys the suppliers that we booked, honest thoughts on working with them, some tips and red flags you want to look out for when booking your suppliers. Just a quick disclaimer, everything I'll be sharing in this video is based on our personal experience, preferences, and the contracts we signed with suppliers. Prices, packages, and policies may change depending on the season, negotiation, and availability. This is not a sponsored video, and all opinions are entirely my own. Please always do your own research and due diligence when booking a vendor and planning your own event. So, having all said that, let's talk about numbers, tips, and all the unexpected things we learned along the way. First topic of this video is why we chose Shangri-La as our venue. So when we flew to the Philippines in July 2024, one of our main goals was to do site visits in Boracay for our potential wedding venues. And in the course of 4 days, we were able to do 7 site visits. Yes, 7. We did 7. I did have a video about those site visits. I will link it up here if you haven't watched it. And out of all the venues, our top choice in that site visit was the Lynn. Here's why. Number 1, their quotation for 100 packs perfectly fit our set budget. Number 2, they met our non-negotiables. We have an outdoor venue for our ceremony and an indoor venue for our reception. We were this close to booking with them, but I kept following up with their sales event person. Unfortunately, it took them too long to respond to get a confirmation for our desired day. Since our trip in the island was coming to an end, we really need to lock in a venue before we fly back. So I decided to revisit the quotation that Shangri-La gave us in 2023, and I found the sales event person I was contacting that time and asked for a new quotation for 80 packs. Shangri-La was originally out of our budget, honestly way out of our budget. But then I decided to message them if I could get a new quotation for 80 packs in the year 2024. The quotation got back to us for 80 packs. That's when we actually thought that it's actually doable. One more reason why we chose Shangri-La is we thought about our guests, especially Patrick's friends who would be flying 15 to 20 hours just to attend, literally from one part of the globe to the other part of the globe. So we thought if they were coming all the way to the Philippines, we want to give them the best experience possible. And in our opinion, Shangri-La is top tier when it comes to luxury, privacy, and services. And that's why we decided we want to book ultimately with Shangri-La. It was our first choice. It's just that it was way out of our budget in 2023. And we had to revisit it. And we thought we can actually do it, and for the sake of our guests who would be flying almost 24 hours just to attend. We want to give them the best possible experience there is. In our opinion, Shangri-La would be the best venue for that. What I learned about this is if you're still unsure of the head count, ask for a quotation for about 70% of your estimated guest count. So we initially had 120 guests in mind. That's the initial quotation I asked from Shangri-La in 2023. And in 2024, I thought, why don't we start with 80 packs and just add a head count if there's more? it's cheaper that way. So in our case, our initial headcount was 120, and then we asked for a quotation for 80 packs from Shangri-La. And you know what? After sending out the RSVPs, our actual headcount ended up being at 60. What happened to the 20 paid extra heads? We will discuss about that in the next section when we break down the package. Now, let's talk about the wedding package that we booked with Shangri-La. Again, I will be rounding off numbers for confidentiality agreement, but I will try to give you the best estimate for transparency. I have my laptop here because there's a lot of numbers here. So we went for a guest count of 80 and chose the Coral Orchid Ceremony package in Alon Garden, which overlooks the beach. I will link the video of our wedding vlog here so you could see. And the reception that we booked is the Starling Indoor Wedding Package with Sagana Ballroom as our reception venue. Here's the total cost that we spent with Shangri-La as our venue. Number one in the contract is a minimum room requirement of 15 rooms for 2 nights each. So Shangri-La has a room requirement of 15 rooms with minimum 2 nights on each room. So this was the hard part of booking with Shangri-La, because I know it is kind of pricey. It is pricey booking with Shangri-La, and we actually didn't expect that we would be able to meet this requirement with the help of our friends. So just be aware of that. Shangri-La does have a room requirement, and for them it's 15 rooms, and each room must have a minimum of 2 nights stay. But luckily our friends were very up for it, so we were able to secure the 15 room requirement. So yeah. Now the second one in our package was the Coral Orchid Ceremony package. It cost us this amount, estimated this amount for 80 packs. This is already net. And then the second one was the reception. The reception cost the Starling Indoor Wedding package. This is the amount we paid for that for 80 guests. Estimated this the best estimate for that is this one for 80 guests, and in excess of 80 guests is 8,200 net per person. So we booked for 80, right? In excess of 80 we need to pay 8,200 per person net. The second cost in our package with Shangri-La is this. And you know, as I've mentioned, this is for 80 packs, but then we only have 60 packs. So we have an overpayment of this amount of money. And this amount of money covered, number one, the cocktail menu, which turns out to be 745 per head. And I was advised that if your guest is 80, you can even just order half 40 packs. That's enough for cocktail hour, because we don't want to put out a lot of food for cocktail hour because we still have the reception dinner. Number two, we wanted to add an additional menu, Pinoy menu in our dinner, which is sisig, which turns out to be around 39,000 for 60 packs. And number three is the 3-hour extension from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., which is around 60,000. And number four, it also covered the after party food, which is I think 900 per head for 30 packs. So that was enough for everyone because not everyone attended our after party. After all those things from our overpayment, we still have a little bit of money left, which we used to offset with the drinks that, you know, reach up to 20,000 more from 80,000 consumable. If you have any questions or clarifications regarding these figures or numbers, please just comment it down below. I will also give a breakdown at the end of this video. So I hope I'm not bad at explaining, because I always bad at explaining. But yeah, I hope I make sense. And if you do have any questions, just comment it down and I will be answering your questions to the best of my knowledge. So now let's talk the other additional costs and the other suppliers that we booked, starting from number one, our wedding planner. I decided to book with JML Wedding Planning and Events Boracay. They're local, they're based in Boracay. This is the amount I paid with them. This is a full service coordination. This price is typically with partial service coordination, but because Jaina May is very kind, she gave it to me for a full service coordination. What's included on their package, I will just put it here, but ultimately I would rate JML 10 out of 10. They went way and beyond on our wedding day. And Jaina May is very responsive when I have questions. Ultimately, Jaina May, Shane, Sebastian, and the team is very professional. I would say if I have questions, they will have an answer right away. And if I want to ask some suppliers for their prices, and if I want to ask discounts, they will ask for discounts as much as they can. And I really appreciate that. They're very transparent, and I would highly suggest them. They even gave us 30 free bags, kacha bags for our guests, and they also gave us a gift on our wedding day, or a painting of ourselves. I really like it. Thank you, Jaina May. I really loved it. I appreciate it. It's already hung in one of the rooms. and most of our suppliers were recommended by them. It's just an addendum, so they're the ones who booked the suppliers for us. So everything I paid them included all this cost already. So I paid Team JML this amount of money and, full service coordination. Number 2 is the fire dancers for 30 minutes, 3 heads. We booked Hexia fire dancers. Very, very good. If you haven't watched it, just watch the video again of our wedding day. And supplier transfo. So if you guys don't know, I didn't know this when I was, setting a budget for our wedding, that you have to pay for the transportation of the suppliers get there. It should be on the contract whether or not they will ask for the transportation, but you have to check it. I didn't check it and I didn't know it, so yeah, there's a 4,000 pesos supplier transfer to and from the venue. That's for all suppliers already. Suppliers food. This is also not included in the budget that I said. I was shocked about this. I just knew from TikTok videos that you have to have the emergency food or the emergency kit for the suppliers, but I really didn't know that you have to, pay for their food. I honestly initially thought that the payment for their services already included their food, which is not a problem. It's just food. It's just that I'm telling you guys that in a Philippine wedding setup, you have to pay for the food of your suppliers. That's just my realization, that you have to, you have to feed your suppliers. It's not a problem. It's just that I didn't think of it initially when I was planning of the wedding. And included also in the total amount that I paid with JML is the LED wall. So Shangri-La was offering a free projector, but I figured that since we are playing a vlog or slides during dinner, we wanted to upgrade it to an LED wall, and JML was able to find a supplier, a last-minute supplier. I think we booked it 5 days before the wedding. Gave it to us for 40,000 pesos, LED wall, for the whole duration of the program already until after the after party. And we also have a band. Our band is called Heart and Soul. So the price is 35,000 for one saxophone, one keyboard, and one singer. So they have 3 hours of performance during the reception dinner, but then since Jana May, being the negotiator that she is, she was able to talk to the saxophone guy if he could play my bridal march during the ceremony, which he agreed to, and I was very happy because I'm a sucker for saxophone, and a saxophone playing on my bridal march is just a dream. So thank you so much, Jana. So on top of that 3-hour performance, Jana May was able to negotiate to play for my bridal march. Last but not the least, inclusion and the amount of money I paid with Jana is the styling plus bridal reveal. So I also mentioned that there is basic styling with Shangri-La, but I wanted to upgrade it to our theme. Our theme was summer, bright, colorful theme. So the basic styling that was included in Shangri-La package did not. I wanted to do some modifications, but ended up having some cost with them. So I just talked to Jana if they could work on our budget. Initially, my budget for styling for the aisle and the ceiling treatment on the ballroom was 50,000, but Jana May told me that it's not going to be workable because we have 60 packs, and I also didn't know that it's based on the packs. So I gave her the minimum amount of figure that I want to pay, that I'm willing to pay for the styling, and it ended up to be 78,000, 75,000 for the ceremony style, and the 3,000 for the bridal reveals. So I have the white thing behind me when I get revealed to the guest, which is one thing I want to suggest with you guys to get a bridal reveal. Usually they quote it to us around 5,000. JM was willing to give it to me for 3,000 pesos, and I thank her so much for that, because if I didn't get that, my guests would have seen strangers in my back, and my photo and video would have some photo bombers in it. So I highly suggest that you get a bridal reveal. I also asked some people if they're willing to pay that amount of money for the bridal reveal, and it turns out very well. So I suggest you get bridal reveal. So yeah, this are all the inclusions that I paid with JML, and the breakdown of each of the suppliers included. I think the number one most important thing to book besides the venue is the wedding coordinator, because they will help you. They will give you reviews on your potential suppliers that you want to book. They're giving you insights on what to expect if you book this kind of supplier, which I think is very important and it matters. So I am happy that I booked JML as my wedding coordinator, and I would give them a 10 out of 10. And next thing that we'll be discussing are the suppliers that I booked outside of JML's handling. So my supplier for photo and video booth is RR Production. Those are all from RR Production. And where did I find this RR Production? So I am a member of a group on Facebook. It's called Wowis. Basically, there's no suppliers there, but mainly just brides and grooms to be and all those people who have already been married, or as they say, graduated. So they share their feedback there as to their thoughts and honest reviews with the suppliers to the book. So when I was looking for suppliers, photo and video based in Boracay, I was seeing a few brides reviewing RR Productions. So I saw their profile, was genuinely impressed with their portfolio. It really matches my style. So I inquired with him, the owner, Ryan Rivera. This is the package that we booked with him. The inclusions, all the deliverables. Ryan was responsive throughout the inquiry stage, and as you all know from here, there was an included prenuptial shoot and prenup video edit, and I already told him that we aren't going to be availing the prenuptial video because we're based here in New York and we're only flying to the Philippines 5 days before the wedding, to which he agreed. So I asked if we could swap the prenup video, the prenup shoot, with an aerial drone shot on the actual wedding day, so which he willingly agreed to. So I thought that was okay, that was fine. I didn't ask for any more contract. It was just documented through our chat. I went through it, and I also asked JM to remind them to get a drone permit on the meeting. May 23rd, May 25 was the wedding. On the May 23rd, the sales event person from Shangri-La also reminded us that they already have the drone permit. So I thought that was all polished, that was all okay. So yes, on the day itself, his team arrived at around 9 a.m. It just stopped raining because it was raining from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. The team arrived and was professional, kind, and honestly were very funny. I really loved the team. Ryan was not there. It was just his team there. So the team, I think there were 10 of them. I think 5 for Patrick and 5 for me. The SDE they presented during the presentation was very nice. It was very lovely. As I've mentioned, their style really matches my style. It's kind of fun, not so dramatic, which I really like. I have no problem with it because it's really my style. I was even looking at them at the end of the video, the night of our wedding, and I was clapping for them, applauding them because it was just a great job. It was a good job. Until we realized something was missing. The missing part was the drone shot. There was 0.05 drone shot in there. It's not even me or Patrick, it's not even us, it's just a 0.05 clip of the island. Since I want to enjoy the night, we wanted to enjoy the night, I kept it in mind. And then the morning after, yeah, we talked about it, Patrick and I. So yeah, where was the drone? It was concluded it was supposed to be the replacement for the prenup shoot, and I would have been fine for a 1 second or a 0.5 second of a drone shot of us and not the island. So I messaged Ryan the day after, thanking them and commending the team that was very professional and funny. I was thanking him also, even if he wasn't there. But I also raised my concern, where was the drone shot? And then he pointed out that, oh ma'am, there was a drone shot, this one. I went back to the SDE, and that's how I knew the drone shot he was talking about was the 0.05 shot of the island. This one, I'm gonna show it with you here. This is the drone shot he's talking about as a replacement for our prenup shoot. And I was like, where are we in that shot? No aisle walk of me, no couple shots of us, no. How could I have known if that 0.05 second or millisecond was shot in other days and just used on our wedding day? That was my concern. And I kept asking, and I already had a hint. They forgot it, and until he reasoned out to me that it rained. Mind you, it only rained 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. At the time their team was there, the rain was already out. Next rain after that 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. rain was already 3:45 p.m., which is already after my ceremony. So there was a clear window for them to fly the drone for us to have the shot, and the ceremony only took about 30 minutes before it rained 3:45 p.m. And I was disappointed. I was really disappointed because not only did he lie to me, but also he did not say any apology. So there was no apology right then and there. I mean, it could have only taken one sorry or one apology, and I'm already really moving forward. But I still move forward even without apology. The one who asked for a consolation or, a compensation from that lost deliverable, I suggested if we could get the photos and videos rushed. He agreed and said just give him 3 to 4 weeks for it to be delivered. That felt fair until I had to follow up again when the deadline has passed. And then I followed up for the video, because the way I designed my suggestion for the compensation for the lost deliverable of the drone, I said, can we have the photos and videos rushed? And then he replied, just give him 3 to 4 weeks. So I was under the impression that after 3 to 4 weeks, which is the end of like June 25, 26, he would be giving me all the edited photos and videos. But then it's only the photos. So I followed up, where are the edited videos? And then he replied to me that he can't really rush the videos because it will destroy the quality. You know, at this point, I already have so much disappointment for him, that I was just, this again. Because I want to argue with him anymore, to go back to the conversation that I asked for the photos and videos to be rushed, not just the photos. If I could show it to you guys here, I will show you that I asked for the rush photo and videos and not just the photos. So I have so much disappointment for him already that I don't want to be stressed about it. So I said, yeah, okay, when will you be able to provide me the videos? So he said another month, so end of July. It is now July 29 and he hasn't reached back to me, although he reached back to me. But I was just so disappointed that I didn't reply back to him already. Until now, there's still no communication regarding the edited videos. So after July 31, if there's still no update about the video, I will still have to follow up again, which is kind of a tedious work to do, because I just want to be, you know, celebrating my wedding. I just want to be looking back at it very happily, but I still have to go back to this tedious work with their unprofessionalism, just to get the services that I initially paid for. I paid for it. It is my day. I have the right to raise all the concerns I have, because it's my day. It's not just I begged them to cover our day. Paid for those services, so really am disappointed. So I am giving them a 5 out of 10 reviews. 5 because of the work that they showed us. It's really within our style. I really like it. It's just that the professionalism of the owner is a disappointment for me. I feel very powerless right now. I don't have the video, and I didn't want to burn bridges with them, but it's just a lot of disappointment already that I don't want to deal with them. I just want to get our videos, and yeah, I will give them a 5 out of 10 for their work, and the lack of 5 points would be for the unprofessionalism of the owner. Now let's head to my hair and makeup supplier, which is Jasmine May Labao, which is the sister of my wedding coordinator, Jana May Labao. So it's very nice that they're, you know, work together. I got really good deal from Jasmine May. So I got the package for 30,000, including my airbrush makeup and foreheads. Ito na lang. Pakita ko na lang sa'yo. So here's all the inclusion from Jasmine May's contract. We got a good deal from her, and I really love what she did on my face on my wedding day. It's just very brown, bronzy, Filipina makeup, and I really loved it. And I rate her 10 out of 10, because as I've said, if what I envision is the one she delivers on the day, then that's just a perfect 10 out of 10. I highly suggest Jasmine May. Her team is very funny and very kind, and I feel very taken care of on my wedding day. Every minute I think I am being retouched. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for Jasmine May. Next, our host is Hermie Feliciano. His name is Hermie E. Feliciano, Calibo and Boracay event host / MC. I would rate him a 7 out of 10. Not that I don't like him, it's just that I think the energy of our guest did not match his energy, and that's just coming from the feedback of my guests, some of my guests. But for me, I liked it. It's just that, yeah, there could have been more energy in there. Hermie is really kind and respectful host. Whatever I want, he will deliver. So I love him for that. He followed our request to speak in full English for our English-speaking guest. He's very respectful, he's very kind. I love him about that. Overall, the program ran very smoothly because of his professionalism. What's important is we just have the program delivered as how we want it to be, as how the couple want it to be, and he delivered it. So I'm happy. So again, our host was Hermie Feliciano. If you have questions about it, you can just comment down below and I can refer you to him if you want to book with him. So yeah. Next would be reception DJ is DJ Lee, which is included in the Shangri-La package. I just had to review this one, even though if it's already included in the package, because I didn't hear what he did on our wedding day. There was no music that we chose. We had a playlist, by the way. We had a playlist that we shared with our coordinator to fill in the gaps when there's like dead air. But what I heard was just like a cafe thing or something. I didn't really see him there. So we had to hire another DJ for the after party, and that is DJ Adrian and DJ Big Boy from Epic Boracay. So DJ Adrian is the one who did our mashup. So we paid him 3,000 pesos. So he created a last minute mashup for us. We sent him 10 to 12 songs, and then he did a mashup for us to be played on the first few minutes of our after party. So we paid 3,000 for that. I was very happy because it was so last minute, and our guests loved the mashup. Like, everyone was dancing on the floor, even the old ones, because we incorporated some 80s and 70s grooves in our list of songs, and then he mashed it up, and wow, it's a 10 out of 10 for 3,000 pesos. That's a steal. That's really a steal. And then he wasn't available on our date, so he passed on the mashup to DJ Big Boy, which is also an Epic DJ. So DJ Big Boy was the one who played on our after party. So after the mashup, we just requested DJ Big Boy to play based on the genre of the 10 songs that we had with DJ Adrian. And wow, Patrick is very happy. He really caught the vibe. If he sees the older guests sitting down, he will play a banger from the 70s and 80s, and then they will just all get up and then dance with all the Gen Zs and millennials. It was really fun. So for DJ Adrian and DJ Big Boy, it's a 10 out of 10. But I just don't know with DJ Lee, because I didn't really see him, even though he's part of the package. I didn't really see or hear his presence on our wedding day. The photo booth, my supplier for photo booth is Star Shots Photo Booth Calibo Boracay. So they service within Calibo and Caticlan. I booked them for 12,000 for 4 hours. Initially, 12,000 is just for 3 hours. But then again, I asked JM if we could get them for 12,000 for 4 hours, to which they agreed. And then again, Jana May Lavao saves today. And yeah, 10 out of 10. I think Amiel Garcia is the owner of this company, Star Shots. He's a well-known photographer in Boracay, and he's very responsive. It's a last minute communication with him, and I think 2 days before or 3 days before my wedding, he was asking me what style I want my photo films to be. So I just sent him an inspo, and then after a day, he already sent me the template for our photo film. It's a strip film, and yeah, it's okay already. So it's smooth. So 10 out of 10. I would book them again on any occasion. And it's within our budget. That's one thing, it's within our budget. So yes, Star Shots photo booth is a 10 out of 10. Now, our welcome dinner is with Nalka Seafood Boracay. We particularly chose this restaurant in Station 2 because, number one, we were able to dine in with them last July 2024 when we had our site visit, and the food really tasted good. So they gave us 2 options. One is the consumable of 30,000. That's already including the function hall for 3 hours, and you will have to just order a la carte based on the amount that you paid, which is 30,000. Or number 2, they also gave us an option for a buffet style. The buffet style was the one we chose because we underestimated the number of people who will come. I think everyone came, all the guests, the 60 guests came in our welcome dinner. So I thought it's just best to get a buffet style in order for them to, eat as much as they want. Initially, my budget is 30,000 for the consumable one for the buffet. But then I asked if they could curate a menu based on the 30,000 budget that I had. So it was very flexible. The chefs were very accommodating, so they created a menu out of that budget. It's just that I have to put on a little bit more, I think 10,000 pesos more, to add some more food selections on the buffet, because I think with 30,000 there's only gonna be 3 to 4 menu. So I added 2 more, so there could be 5 items on the menu, which is fine because it's just 10,000 pesos. I give them a 9 out of 10 because, number one, as I mentioned, we really love the food. They just lack 1 point from me because we booked them from 5 to 8 p.m. But when we arrived there at 6 p.m., there was still no food because I think the supervisor was very apologetic to tell me that they misread the time. They thought it was 6 to 9 p.m., but it was 5 to 8 p.m. So I already announced that it's ready to eat when I arrived, and then when they got out of the hall, there was still no food. So that was a bit of an embarrassment for me. But I raised it to the supervisor and the manager of the supervisor, and they were very apologetic, and then they didn't charge I think 10 guests for that scenario, and that's the kind of professionalism that we want, right? when you miss a deliverable, you just have to say sorry and you just have to make an apology, and that's it. I would have moved forward. And when that we moved forward, from that, and we appreciate the professionalism of the manager and the supervisor in that scenario, because they immediately took action with their, mishaps that happened. It's not like you will just give excuses and continue to disappoint me, and without having even saying sorry on or giving an apology. It's just not that professional for me. So that's, those are two scenarios that really give a different vibe. One with RR production, with which I'm really disappointed, and one with Nalka, which I was embarrassed and disappointed, but then they took action, which, is important for me, because we're all professionals here. We should act as one. So yeah, I am giving Nalka 9 out of 10, and we're definitely going back, and I'm definitely recommending them to anyone going to Boracay. Really, really good. Their oyster sisig, oh come on, their oyster sisig is the bomb. So yeah, I'm gonna go back there in January. Now, the small details or everything we wore, or the souvenirs that we bought for our guests in the wedding. Let's start with my bridal gown. I got my bridal gown from Joseph Liberan in Divisoria for 25,500 pesos. That's including the thing that you put the coins, the cord, the veil, and the rainbow thing under the dress. I'd rate them 9 out of 10. I was there in 2024. That was my first fitting, and the next fitting was already 5 days before my wedding. And on the same day, they altered this part of the dress, and I was already able to get it within 2 hours. 9 out of 10. Point lacking because it's my fault. It's my discretion as well. Wedding is in a garden, and I didn't take into consideration that it could rain just because it's in May. I thought it wasn't gonna rain. So there was a lot of mud, and my gown is very long. It ended up being dirty with mud, and after dry cleaning, it's still there, but it's not so visible anymore. So I just wished I picked another, shorter gown with shorter trail, but that's on me. And I love everyone in that store. They're just very, when you try on a gown, initially they only allow you 3 fittings of the gown that you want, but then I was the only one there, and I was talking with them, can I try 5 more? Can I try 5 dresses? Can I try 6 dresses? Yes, you can. You can try. That's 9 out of 10. 1 is for me because I wanted a shorter gown or a skinnier gown, so that's on me. But overall, I had no problems with them. When I got there on the pickup date, and then they needed to alter it, they altered it within 30 minutes or an hour, and then it was ready to go. So definitely recommending Joseph Liberan in Divisoria. And I am selling my gown. I just have to post them on Facebook Marketplace. I did bring it from Philippines to New York, so I don't know if someone will buy it in Manila or someone will buy it here in New York. But yeah, it's for sale, and I will be posting it on my TikTok or my Facebook, which is linked on the description box below. Now, the suits of Patrick and my father is from Gardini Rental in Shaw Boulevard in Pasig City. So we paid 4,200 for the rental for 2 suits, my father's suit and my husband's suit. So it's here, they have photo here. So this is just 4,200 pesos for 8 days rental. Wow, 8 days rental. We could have gotten $40 here in New York. So I was very happy, and it turned out really well. And the final fitting also was 5 days before the wedding, and they did the alterations within an hour. We were able to pick it up on the same day. And we just have to pay 7,000 security deposit, which is definitely refundable. And it was an easy transaction with them. Even if I wanted to change the inner shirt of Patrick before the wedding, they were amenable to change it. So yeah, smooth transaction, and I give them a 10 out of 10 because 4,200 pesos for 2 suits for 8 days. What better price can you get, especially in New York setting? So 10 out of 10 Gardini. So I would rent with them again. Down to our last expenses is our souvenirs. So there are 2 souvenir suppliers that I work with. One is Carry Bags and Souvenir Shop. I found this on the Facebook group that I was telling you guys about. I inquired and I saw their prices. It was very affordable. So I got a pouch for them for 60 pieces, and I think I paid around 2,500 pesos for 60 pieces. I also booked Hola Craft Shop and via Shopee. Very smooth. You just have to place an order and then tell them what you want to write, the colors that you want to receive, and in 3 days it was delivered to our house in the Philippines, and it's only 2,000 pesos because I think one bag tag is 60 pesos. I think I ordered for 70 pieces, and they embossed the word that I did. If I have a sample, I can put it here, but overall, yeah, I paid 2,500 pesos for the bag tag, and they work very fast. For both carry bags and Hola Craft Shop, 10 out of 10. So my final thoughts. Was it worth it? Honestly, yes, it was all worth it. It was overwhelming at times, and planning from afar wasn't very easy, but being surrounded by our loved ones, by the people we love, by the people who loves us in such a beautiful place, feeling that moment where everything came together was all worth it. It was more than what I could have hoped for. The memories we made was priceless. So yes, it was all worth it. If there's anything I would have done differently, definitely yes. I would have asked more questions up front, especially with timelines, deliverables, their compensation if the deliverables wasn't met. I also get the importance of getting everything in writing, making sure both parties are aligned, not just verbally but contractually, and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. It is your wedding. Be kind, but also be firm. Surround yourself with suppliers you trust, and also read reviews about them. Don't just view them with their pretty portfolios. Dig right through them. Ask some other people who booked with them. Lastly, you don't need to do everything all at once. Take it one decision at a time. You will get there. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. If you can be fully in the moment when that day comes, you've already won. And that's a wrap on our wedding cost breakdown. I hope this video gave you clarity, perspective, or even just comfort if you're in the middle of planning your own big day. If you do have any questions about wedding destinations in the Philippines, please feel free to leave a comment below. I would love to help however I can, and if you experience something similar, you can share your experiences in the comments below. We can talk about it. I upload videos weekly on Saturdays, so I hope you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be updated with all the videos that I'm uploading weekly. So yes, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I hope in some way I've helped you in your wedding decision planning. So thank you so much. See you next time.